Welcome to the newest and innovative talk show, Ladies of Society, with your host, Queen, the Black Butterfly herself. Tune in to the hottest new show as Queen brings you the news from her queendom of controversy.
Welcome to Ladies of Society. I'm your host, Queen, and I am so glad once again you have chosen to spend your evening right here this Thursday at 7 p.m. with me, the talk show for women and the men who love us. Of course, we're so adorable. They can't help it. So today I am so excited because what month is this? This is Pride Month, of course. So to all my rainbow lovers out there, we are definitely a supporter and we plan to bring you more. And I am excited about this segment because this is our first Queen's Roundtable discussion. And I have been wanting to do an episode like this when I first knew that I was going into TV talk show. We have some heavy hitters with us today. We have Monet, and she is the owner of Mobile Meals by Monet here in Columbus, Ohio. So definitely check her out. And we have Zymene, who is a freelance photographer for photographic memories. And we have Christine Caruso from New York. She is the owner of Once Upon a Time Bakes and Cakes. And we have some of her fabulous pineapple upside down with cranberry topping with us tonight. Of course, your girl, Queen, of course. And this is a talk show not just for myself, but for all of us. So we want your feedback. Definitely reviews, what kind of content you would like to see, because we want to incorporate your opinions and what you want to see as well, because this is a talk show for all of us. So on tonight we have some pretty serious topics, and I know that we do a lot of inspirational things, and I'm so excited always to bring you that content. But of course, we all know that I'm an activist and an advocate, and we have to address some of the things that are going on in society today. Because what do we want to be? That spark of change. It is Pride Month, and of course, your girl Queen had to write a piece about that I want to share with you right now. Rainbow of many colors. The rainbow consists of many beautiful colors, and as one unique color blends into the next, each color embraces one another and radiates into unity. Because without that acceptance and embracing each other, the rainbow simply would cease to exist. What would the world be without unique colors of beauty? Why does any color have to be better than one another? For as I stated so many times continuously on social media, in my interviews that have been all over the world, the one thing that always stands true with me, and that is, we are all a sparkle of beauty in God's eyes. Stay tuned. This show is being brought to you courtesy of Queen of Queens Productions, Modeling and Management.
Hi, I'm Queen, the host of the hottest new talk show, Ladies of Society, the talk show for women and the men who love us. Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m., airing on Bounce TV 23 Columbus, courtesy of Queen of Queens Productions, Modeling and Management.
Welcome back to Ladies of Society, and of course I am your host, Queen. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Monet in the building with us. We're going to kickstart this round table off with just us queens, and I have some beautiful eye candy for you because she is absolutely gorgeous. So welcome, Miss Lady, to Ladies of Society.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Now, of course, you guys know that this is Pride Month, to my rainbow followers, and to you out there who don't know what Pride is, please, Monet, share that information with them.
Well, Pride's origin, initially back in, I believe it was Greenwich, New York, there was a community of LGBT people, and they were being harassed by the police, and their whole village was burned down. And so the community came together and they rallied against that, and that's when Stonewall was established. And so in 2019, Pride is about visibility. We're here and we want to be treated as regular humans. For people who feel more comfortable dressing not in their traditional gender clothing, they don't want to be gawked and stared at. If there are two men or two women embracing each other publicly, you want to treat it just as you treat the heterosexuals. You kind of just glance and going about your day. And so Pride is more so about us being able to go into the public and be ourselves without being a spectacle.
I feel like that's a way of Pride helping to do that. But do you think that in the years that has passed that it's become more about the partying and less about the purpose?
Well, I wouldn't say that, because a lot of the parties are fundraisers. So, yes. And so we have people like Virginia West who've made history doing drag shows and doing fundraising. And so I think that the partying is somewhat, you want to keep your spirits up. There are a lot of trans women that have been murdered lately. People have been assaulted. We have little boys that are committing suicide because they don't feel comfortable, whether they're actually homosexual or not. They're being teased and called gay, and so they've been taking their own lives. And so I feel that having the fundraiser aspect kind of softens it a bit. We raise funds for different events or different things that have happened, but just having that awareness that people should be treated as human. And so if people have the right to be wrong, and so if there is a lifestyle choice you don't really agree with, you can kind of keep it to yourself at this point. You don't have to protest against people or shame them for what they believe in.
Now, I know that, with the passing of being married, those laws, things of that nature, what else do you think needs to be more awareness brought to in the LBG community?
I think there's still some discrimination in workplace. I feel that there's still housing discrimination with same-sex couples wanting to live in certain places. They're told, well, this is a family place. We don't want our families to see your type of family. So I still feel there's a bit of discrimination. Someone just actually published the numbers where LGBT are making a lot less money in the same field as other people. And so these are still discriminatory acts, still being treated less than.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what is it as far as your position in the LBG community and what you do to bring awareness, bring notoriety, I should say, to the cause?
Well, I started a platform, LGBT Moguls Ohio, and so on Facebook, the title's a little longer, LGBT Moguls Hustlers of Ohio, and then you just have the Instagram account. I created that platform for people that are a part of the community that, let's say, for instance, I'm a caterer. A lot of people have been declined catering services because they use Christianity as an excuse, but a lot of times people don't want to do business or don't want to do a wedding or something for a homosexual couple. And so I figured we needed a platform, kind of like a Yellow Pages per se for LGBT business. You can go into the group, you can socialize with people, cross-promoting. So I have a photographer in the group, I have a person that's a DJ in the group. They cross-promote each other for different events. And so it's really a great way to gain visibility. We also do promoting and marketing. So if you have a small business idea and you want to launch it, writing business plans, helping you get your LLC, or just a few services that we offer at LGBT Moguls Ohio.
Well, that sounds absolutely awesome. And to be able to bring those individuals together and network, or people looking for individual professionals in those fields for whatever it is, their event, special occasion, wedding or whatever. So it's nice to be able to have that information, to be able to go to that group and be able to network with each other or just support one another. So that's amazing.
And also the support, because I've had people say, well, I booked a client for something, but they found out I was gay, so they canceled.
Oh,
and
wow.
so someone can go on that group and say, hey, well, I've been there before. Ways to overcome that discouragement. And then you may get a referral from someone who does want to do business, who doesn't mind your sexuality, because it's not really relevant to your talent. So
I agree. I totally agree. Well, it was so awesome having you be a part of this segment, and of course bringing you back for the round table. But I appreciate you giving our viewers that information and being a part of just bringing awareness that this is Pride Month and it's all about the love, spreading the love. And I'm glad that you came today to be a part of not just this segment, but to showcase this valuable information, because it's all about unity. It's all about love. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. So stay tuned. We will be back, and we have more to come on Queen's Courtyard Roundtable discussion right here on Ladies of Society. And of course, I'm your host, Queen, bringing you the real, the raw, the truth. Stay tuned. This show is being brought to you courtesy of Queen of Queens Productions, Modeling and Management.
Things need to be said, and she is saying.
This is the talk show for women and the men who love us.
The new voice of the community.
We definitely want to pay homage and acknowledge our heroes and sheroes of the armed forces who paid the ultimate price to make sure that they secure our country, our rights, and our freedom.
Prolific.
There are all sorts of disorders that are contributed to mental health. And
insightful.
Queen's Q&A, where you guys are free to ask me whatever you want.
Encouraging.
Queen, I'm in an abusive relationship and I want him to stop, but I don't have the courage to leave.
Queens. Ladies of Society.
Welcome back to Ladies of Society, and I am excited because this is Queen's Court. And of course, we're going to start with my right with
India Monet.
And of course, I'm Queen, your host.
Christine Caruso.
And I'm Zamin.
And you are in Queen's Courtyard at Queen of Queens Studio. And let's get down to it, where we are bringing you the real, the raw, the truth. And this has been an episode I've been so looking forward to, of doing, of course, Queen's Roundtable discussion. So let's get started. I want to start out by sharing with you guys, of course, in the previous last, I think, couple of episodes where I was covering the community revival. And it was for 2 weeks, of course. And while I was covering the community revival, I noticed it was 2 little girls, beautiful little girls of color. They were playing and having a good time. And then it turned into a mimicking training session where the 2 young girls were actually training each other how to fight another girl. And they were mimicking pulling hair and the proper way of pulling it. They were uppercutting each other and even pretending how to fall and showing how you take down your opponent. And these were young girls. They were around the ages of, I believe, 8 and 9. But the beauty of it is in that the one little girl, she was curious, and so she came down to see what was going on with the revival. And they were doing an altar prayer call. And if you don't know what that is, it's where you could actually come up and get prayer if you have some kind of sickness, affliction, or just having problems and, just need some support and some comfort. And you can get prayer. And the little girl, she got in the prayer line and got prayed for. Well, she was so excited that she got prayer. Then she went and told her girlfriend and then brought her down there, and out of curiosity, she wanted to get prayer as well. And then we had an opportunity to actually speak with these young ladies. But I got to thinking, because it was so troubled on my mind, like, wow, I remember as a kid around being that age, when we would go outside to play. We wasn't trying to mimic anybody fighting, or anything. And I said to myself, wow, in 2019, this change that has come about in, basically technology raising our kids. Now we have babies watching videos and they're the babysitters. So, I was thinking to myself, wow, where did this come from? And I know instantly I had a couple of thoughts of my own as to my perception of why this may be happening. But it was so disturbing. It was definitely one of the topics that I wanted to bring to my round table, and of course open up the dialogue to get their opinions and their perspectives and possible solutions. So what do you guys feel about that situation?
I think it's sad, first of all. I think it's sad that in this day and age that kids are doing that. But when you see what's on TV or on the internet, I think there's just overexposure to a lot of violence. And you see things like Hunger Games where they'll have a game about killing one another and they're all kids, and it goes on and on.
That's a popular movie though.
I know, it is very popular.
I mean,
popular book, popular
both
movie.
sequels.
And they have, and the access that kids have. And I know that it's hard raising children, but when they say it takes a village, it takes a community, it takes a church, it takes a family, I think everybody's got to watch.
Yeah.
And you got to ask questions.
It hits close to home for me because I'm a mother of a 9-year-old little girl.
Oh,
and
wow.
So we've had experience with bullying. And when I was that age, the fighting really didn't start until middle school. I remember seeing kids get into fights. Nowadays, they are taking the fights, they're filming them, they're sharing them online. And unfortunately, you have younger parents. I have seen parents post a video of their child and they state, well, she was being bullied, so she ended up having to beat this kid up. But they're glorifying it, they're sharing it with everyone.
Exactly.
And so I think a lot of it goes back to parenting. Of course, we want to teach our children to defend themselves. But then when you have, in my experience, because I just have the one child, there's a sibling or a cousin that goes to the school as well. And they all gang up on these children. So if you do tell on someone, unfortunately, they harass you and they pick with you. And so I think that it definitely starts at home, but there's an awareness.
Right.
Sometimes the parents are so on the defense, well, your kid must have done something first. And so there's this back and forth thing. I think it's really about communication. About children respecting each other's space, and everyone is not going to wear designer clothes. They're not going to all have on Jordans.
Right.
All the little girls, and the thing with some of these little girls, they come to school in elementary and they have weave down their back.
Yeah, but
and you have an insecurity with the kids. They're picking on each other. They're fighting. The things they see on television, that's what they aspire.
Right.
And that's what I was getting to. Do you think that that's where it comes from?
Yeah, I think it comes from the stuff they see on television. I mean, let's be clear. When I was growing up, I watched The Cosby Show. I remember seeing Denise go to college, so it was a different world. Right. And it was Dwayne Wayne and Whitney Gilbert. These kids weren't fighting on the shows that were my programming. Yeah. But when you turn on television now, you see Love and Hip Hop. This is what's on. You see
this is what's
confrontation.
This is what the hottest trends on TV, all watching this, and that's what definitely came to my mind is, wow, they're mimicking this behavior that they see in these popular reality TV shows. They're mimicking what they see on social media where people are recording these fights. I mean, I can't tell you how many times when I got on Instagram, that's what popped up in my feed is, somebody filming somebody fighting, and instead of somebody trying to stop them, you watch the crowd egg them on. But I want to get Z's perspective on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't leave you out.
I have a granddaughters same age as your daughter. They're not much of fighters. Okay.
Right.
So I play with them. I wrestle with them. Because I want them to be more fighters. Why? We live in a harsh world. You have to defend yourself nowadays because things are going to be at you. Things are coming after you. And if you don't defend yourselves, you're weak, and then more people are going to attack you. So that's just one side. as far as bullying, you're talking about bullying. No, we don't need bullying. We need more community. We need more. We're in this together. Yeah. Enemy somewhere else, but we're us. Let's fight together for whichever cause we're fighting for. But you're going to have to fight.
Do you think that it's necessary to actually feel like, okay, yeah, well, in society it's harsh, you know, so yeah, we need to teach people to,
Do you bully or
fight.
be bullied?
Well, my thing is do you teach these individuals, okay, it's a harsh world out there, you know, let me teach you how to protect yourself. Because I know that, yeah, throughout the years, in each and every era, you know, you have to address that. Like, if a kid hits you, hit them back.
Right.
You know, these are the things that we
let
were
them
raised
do
in
their
and
thing,
instilling in our children. But at the same time, is it something that is necessary, or should we be steering it in a different direction and saying we need more people who don't want to be violent,
I agree.
as opposed to, you know, I'm not saying either or is right,
Violence
because
isn't the answer, but
It's idealistic to think you're going to go out into a world and people aren't going to be violent.
Right.
I mean, we're born into what's going on right this second.
yeah,
How are you going to react? How are you going to respond to right now?
Yeah.
You got to have some fight in you,
It does.
because you'll be eaten up and spit out
I have an only
by
child.
those closest to you and by those furthest away. I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
you
there-
have to
yeah.
fight.
I mean, or at least I have a daughter who's 19. At least prepare them that the boogeyman does not look like the boogeyman, or they have to expect something, or just to be aware of it. It may never happen, but it has happened in my daughter, in my daughter's school, to her. And the principal called me and said, you know, Natalie's being bullied, and this boy that's doing it was really bad about gay kids and things like that, and it really hurt my heart. And he said,
but do you think that it's pertaining to bullying? Why kids are doing this?
But I think the hate, and I said to the principal, he goes, well, his parents are going to be mortified. I said, are their parents going to be mortified because he got caught? Or are they going to be mortified because of the behavior? Because that behavior has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, but do you think that bullying is the reason why these kids are saying fighting is popular and now let's
I think they have a whole fight club culture going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have it. I think they're two separate issues. So you have children who there's just a back and forth. And if you pick on one child and they don't defend themselves, now you know, oh, I'm the bully now. I can pick on other children. Nothing's going to happen to me.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a separate issue from I think the elementary age issue is more so individualized, where the middle school kids, they have cell phones. There are 3 or 4 girls, they're going to argue with you on Facebook, then they're going to show up at your house. And they're going to record
which
it.
I've seen.
And so
instances like
that ideal is more so you were ashamed of getting into a fight when I was coming up. You were you were embarrassed about it. You were punished. Nowadays the parents brag on it, the kids post it. There are no consequences, and it's glorified. So our standards have changed as a society.
Definitely.
So because our standards have changed,
Definitely.
the things that we accept and tolerate out of our children, it's become normalized. Where when a girl would get into a fight back in the day, oh no, it's a big deal, there's suspension or repercussion. It doesn't happen very often after that, unless maybe it's an ongoing feud with just one particular person or group of girls. Nowadays, it's so glorified that you have these kids saying, well, I've beat up this person, this person, this person, and they're bragging on it. And unfortunately, you have to look at the big picture. Is this the only way this child is getting attention? Is the only time their parent is looking at them or coming to their school. They don't come to the school for awards. They don't come to the school when it's the concert, but they have to come when you get suspended.
That's true.
You know, so I feel like it's an attention thing for them. They're posting it online. They're getting these likes. They're getting this ego. You know, they're a boss and they're going around bullying kids, but it's glamorized and it's a way for them to get attention.
That is true what you're saying, because
I've seen that happen like so many times, where the child who was being bullied ends up turning into the bully. And then I've seen too where parents enroll their children in, you know, karate class, and where the child was like really timid, and then as soon as that child learned that technique, that talent, then the child became the one that was the bully. So I've seen it on both sides. And you know, you guys have made some valid points, and I really appreciate it. And now I want to go to our next round table topic.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. No, you guys had great input, different perspectives, and that's what we need in order to find solutions, is just to hear different viewpoints, perspectives, and kind of, you know, think about it, you know, food for thought later, and then find out what works best for you. But the next topic on the table is, do you believe that romance has faded in relationships?
Girl.
I think relationships now are quid pro quo, which means in Latin this for that. And so there's this expectation of the man pays the bills, he comes home, he wants you to cook, he wants the sex, he wants the attention. It's not necessarily, it's, well, I'm paying these bills, so I deserve this. Same thing with the woman. As far as, well, I deserve you to treat me a certain way. I'm accustomed to certain things because I'm entertaining you. There's not very much investing in a person. I want to treat you to this. I want to spend time with you. I want to get to know you just because I want to know you. Not, you know, I want to see what I'm going to get out of this.
But you know what? I'm so glad that you brought that up, because when I was thinking about this particular topic, I said to myself, wow, with, you know, romance. And it just seems like, you know, through music, even through movies now, you know, it's more popular to be the side chick, or it's popular to be, you know, I'm dating this dude, I'm dating that guy, this, that, and the other. But then these are the same individuals who want to be wifed up, who want to be wifey.
Yeah.
And I think that we as women need to take responsibility for our part in men treating us bad, because when you go into a situation, you get to know your partner, you get to know that individual that you're dealing with.
Right.
If you don't take the time to do that, then you end up being his midnight snack attack or his one-hitter-quitter rendezvous.
Right.
And then you're in your feelings because you're like, oh, I really liked him, I really cared about him, but you didn't really even know him.
And here's the thing, too.
Oh, but wait. I got to tell you this part before I lose my train of thought, because I want to make sure that, you know, we get all perspectives out there. And I say this to say that when we don't get to know our partners, and we don't spend a time of knowing who it is that we're being intimate with, that we're creating children with, at the end of the day, when you don't take the time to get to know one another and you have a child, then it becomes a nightmare for that child. Because guess what? You got two people who don't know each other, who got to get to know each other in order to raise a child together effectively.
And that is your...
So in that, you know, we as women, these guys, you know, some of them are charming, sweet talkers, but at the end of the day, you got to take the time to get to know them in order to know if that person is the right person to be a mate to you, a husband to you, or a father to your potential children. And that's my perspective on it. So let me take it to you, Chris, because I know you have something to say.
Well, here's the thing. You know, people get together, and I see this with women a lot. They think about getting married. They think about the wedding and the party and all that stuff. Sometimes I don't think that they think about marriage, like, or I'm going to be with this person we have a child, and 18 years, 20 years, this person's going to be in my life. Or we got a house full of kids, and then all of a sudden, the kids go away, they get older, they go to college, they get married, they have their own lives, and then suddenly you're stuck with a person and you're looking at them like, I don't even know you. And I think romance is fading, but I think it takes work.
Unfortunately, the time has run out, but be sure to tune in next week for the second half of this show with Queen and the Ladies of Society. Keep watching.